OMG. Hey, my little Starshines. Guess where we are? My new apartment. That's right, my new apartment. In my new apartment, right now. Wow. I did it. I did it. I did it. I moved out. Funny story. I've seen this frog before. But the last time I saw it, it was a stone. It was a stone frog. And then I was at Home Goods, walking through, shopping for my new apartment, and the same frog has now grown into a beautiful, grassy little frog. I am the frog. About 2 years ago, my heart was closed. I was really depressed. I didn't really see where anything was going or what anything really stood for. I just knew I didn't like where I was. And now I love where I am, and I have found my peace, and I have moved out, and I have opened my heart, and I know who I am, and I know what I want, and I know how to get it. And what is that, you might be asking? Oh, to just live my dream life. Wait, but my dream life is right here, right now, in this present moment. Story time of how I got to where I am right now. Grab your drinks, grab a little snack, and get comfy. Great little thing. I think this story starts at the beginning. For the first 19 years of my life, I was in constant fight or flight mode, just trying to survive, make it through everyday life, being neglected or having to experience or witness abuse of literally all sorts. And that was no fun. And I didn't know who I was. And at 16, that was when I was homeless for 8 months. I lived in 8 different places over those 8 months. And my family was getting evicted from our house because my stepdad was using all the money he made to support his whippet addiction because he had schizophrenia and he didn't want to get help. And so he thought he would fix it himself. No. Didn't work. And he didn't let my mom have a car, really leave the room, or have a job. So she had no money, and it was like we were trapped there. I felt like I couldn't escape, honestly. And then in April of 2021, I came to California. I lived with my nanny for the summer, or for 2 months. That's my mom's mom. Who also had my mom when she was 18. All the women in my family have had their babies by 18, but I went and 20 and no babies, and I don't want them either. And honestly, a lot of people are like, oh, you just say that now, but I think it's important to respect people's decisions based off right now. And I don't want a child, because I've already had to raise children. See, for this first 19 years of my life, after, I figured out how to make a burrito in the microwave at 2 by climbing into the freezer and starting it because I needed to eat, I figured out how to take care of myself. And by the age of 6, when I was originally living in California with my nanny, because my mom had abandoned me for the first or second time, Nani wanted me to stay out here, and I was like, Nani, I can't stay in California. My younger siblings are in Arizona, and I have to go take care of them. I was 6, and I took care of them in a way that didn't look like taking care of them. My mom, she would take them to school and pick them up, and she would make dinner. But that was really it. So I was really the one making sure they ate dinner, helping them with their chores, asking them how they felt eating dinner with them, and taking them places, buying them things, just playing with them and engaging with them in my life as well. But backtrack. So I was 16, homeless for 8 months. A few of those months I was in California, and I was doing online school because like the first earlier months before I was just failing online. I just wasn't showing up. You know, in those last 3 months that I was in the house in Arizona before I was homeless, actual hell. But I made it out the mud. After California, I feel like I was really guided a lot by my grandparents, but it was only for a few months, and then I went to live a bunch of different places. Thank you to everyone who let me stay with them. My nail tech in Arizona just texted me, Buddy B, I love you, Buddy B, I love you. Buddy B, I love you. Thank you to everyone who let me stay in their house, in their casita, just even stay one night. So much love to you. Thank you. Thank you. And then at the end of those 8 months, I moved back in with my mom into a 1-bedroom apartment, $900 a month, sharing a bunk bed, roach infested everywhere. Out the drains, in the cabinets, in my dishwasher, in my backpack at school. And then I had a tapestry behind my bed. Guess where they all lived? In the closet. I did everything I could. I traps lifted right up in that bang. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't be sharing the same room with the woman who had abandoned me 6 times. Who was not helping my growth. Roach infested. So I was at parties all the time, is what I'm saying. Junior year, danger, show up to work. Uber everywhere, you know what I mean? But that's how I was getting by. That's how I was surviving. And then we moved into a bigger apartment. I got my own room. A year later, life was good again. I felt like I could breathe. I felt safe. I was in my room with a door that could shut and lock. I had my own bathroom. Oh my god, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And I really do cherish that room that I had. It was a very, very transformative bedroom. It was the first room I had in a long time. I think it was my first bedroom that really felt safe. Like truly, truly felt safe. And then a few months later, we switched to an apartment across the way, and that room was even more transformative. I really expressed myself, and because I had a bunch of stuff in that one too, and that one was beautiful. In March of 2024, one day I was in that I was in the room, and my phone had been broken for 3 days. There was 2 days until I would get it back, because it was sent into a repair shop. And I was just hanging out in my room, and I noticed my mom wasn't there that day, but it wasn't really, I was like, well, where is she? Because I never knew where she was, honestly. She just was there when she was, and wasn't there when she wasn't there. And it was another day, and I was like, But then I was in my room, and my sister came in, and she gave me the phone, and then it was my nanny saying, make sure no one's in the room. And I was like, okay. And she's like, your mom just got in a crash. And I was like, okay. And she's like, she had a seizure on the highway when she was driving, and she confirmed there was no substances, and it was 100% like just her body being in a high level of stress and then having a seizure, and it wasn't like so when she said that, I had mixed emotions because I was afraid, like, was there substances involved, or was it intentional, you know what I mean? And she was like, no, it was a seizure. And I was like, okay. Well, is she okay? I can't even go get her. I don't have a phone. Like, she was at the hospital far away, and she was just alone. She was just scared. But she was able to come back home about 4 days later. But what happened is her job fired her because they said she was a liability, and then she had no car because all the tires it was destroyed. It was destroyed. And she just had some bruises. She's strong. She's very strong. But, already being in the position that I was, going to GCU nursing school second semester, freshman year, already wanting to give up in December and wanting to make a change in December of 2023. And also working at a medical clinic. But now, with this crash, I had to drop out of GCU, which I was so excited, so happy. And then I started working full-time 9 to 5 at the medical clinic to pay, while also taking care of Kenna and Liam already, and myself already, and my mom already. But with this new weight that she's completely unable to, I was like, and so my nanny said, I think you should come to California and live in California. And I was like, they were like, for the summer. I was like, yes, and I did. And on May 1st, 2024, I put everything in my car that I owned, which was just my bedroom, because I only ever lived out of my bedroom, because that's where it was safest to be. And I put everything in my car that I could, and I drove to California. And my car almost stopped on the highway on the way, and someone did almost sideswipe me, and a truck, a full 18-wheeler did literally like run me off the road too. It was terrifying. But I did it, and I got check-in books on the way too. Living here, it was a good summer. From like June and July of 2024, my grandparents were out of town in Nebraska, so it was nice to like be with my family but still be alone, because like that's how I had always felt, it's just alone. And like, especially living in Arizona, where it was Jessica, my mom, so I was just always alone. And then it was nice to still be in a new environment without her and still be alone. I was like slowly coming out of the cocoon, like, no one's here. And it was a weight lifted off me, because there was no one to take care of, no one to clean up after, except for me. For the first time in my life, I could focus on me. And I did. And then I got a job at Starbucks. It was August, and my family was like, okay, time to go to school. It's like, you guys remember? And I was going to school at GCU, and I was trying to move out and get an apartment out there with some friends, I think, or something like that. But I was just trying to move out in Arizona, and it was like killing me. I realized I don't want to drive out there again. I don't even want to be there. It's already served its purpose. I've grown out of it. Where my mom wants to see me there, like, it's like, no. And then I was like, oh my gosh, how much am I gonna have to work to pay for an apartment and for GCU? And I was like, I can't afford that. It's not gonna work. And then my family helped me realize, like, okay, we can do more parking. I was like, everything is going like the vision that I had planned. But I didn't know how it would happen. I just manifested and set the intention and trusted the process, and here we are. Oh my gosh. And then I did go to school that first semester for nursing again at Moore Park Community College. Yeah. Praying to my grandparents. I was like, I don't want to even do this. They're like, you don't have to go to school. It's like, that was an option. OMG. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. And so then I dropped out. And then I told them, they were like, what do you really want to do? I was like, YouTube and podcast and yoga. And so, yeah, I've just been working a lot though, saving up my money and going through awakenings every single day, experiencing new lessons, learning more about myself and finding my confidence to speak my truth and be me as a bold lady. Like, now I'm feeling good. Now I'm feeling good, and now I'm feeling balanced. And I also like have released all the relationships that ever weighed me down, and I speak my truth, and I trust myself, and I trust the process, and I know who I am, and I know what I'm doing here, and it's just being me, like nothing else, being me in this present moment, experiencing the beauty around me that I have created. And so yeah, now I'm in my own apartment, and things just got real. Things just got really good. Things just got real good. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment down below if you're part of the vibe. Let me know what you think. Craziest part of the story is that I survived. No, but seriously, I'm really grateful to be here. And I'm grateful that I know when I work for the things I want, I get them. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys are most grateful for today. See you in the next one. I love you. Oh, and don't forget, you matter, and you matter to me. And the light in me is the light in you. Okay, bye guys. Get your goddamn hair off of here. Jesus. Just spreading your sparkle everywhere, aren't ya?